Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Friday, the daily money markets. You are with me. It's Che Yusuf, my man. Che Yusuf. It's on the board as a host of the daily money market. So yeah, guys, it's Friday. Uh, excited. Global market is moving. It's been moving very, very nice. Since from Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So yeah, as what we do Friday, we're bringing you the market recap of the day. So today we're gonna have two section market recap, and we're gonna try to see something else. What else we can be able to see in a market that can help us. So, all right. So, in terms of recapping about how the market has been happening, since on Monday all the way to today, Friday. So, on Monday, there was a construction PMI news coming from Great British Pounds. We saw a lot of, volatility coming to instrument like Euro GBP, GBP Chief, GBP CAD, GBP JPY. So construction PMI, it's actually the Purchasing Manager Index, services as a crucial economic gauge for the traders, enabling them to evaluate the construction industry overall of their health by the leveraging their indicators. So it's very important to follow this type of events. It was from the British, and actually we saw volatility from those type of eurozone. Later on Monday, there was also IVPM on 5 p.m. from Canadian dollar, which is also it's a purchasing manager, purchasing managers index, and it actually measures the monthly Canadian economic indicator, and it's very very important. And we saw a lot of instrument from Canadian dollar having really really high impact volatility. Moving on Tuesday also was a very exciting day. Australian dollar drop cash rate, and also the rate RBA rate sentiment. It was around 5:30 p.m. We saw a lot of Australian CAD having high impact volatility, AUD GBP having a high impact volatility as well. Those who were trading in a forex market about on Tuesday 5:30 a.m., they could have catch the volatility and make some good profit. Later on, there was a foreign exchange reserve from Swiss franc on a 10 a.m. The foreign currency reserves are a collection of the foreign currencies held by the country's central bank. So that news come on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Moving on Wednesday, on Thursday, around 4 a.m. LAM, there was a New Zealand dollar. All these New Zealand dollars, they come on a Sydney sessions, right? So yeah, these instruments, they're actually on a Sydney sessions, and Sydney session, it's a LAM sessions whereby we can now be able to see kind of volatility coming on. So that was inflation expectations coming on 4 a.m. from New Zealand dollar. We saw a lot of volatility from NZD, JPY, AUD, NZD. There were high impact volatility moving on there. That was on Wednesday. Moving on Thursday, on 3:30 a.m. on the Asian session. Again, the LAM's sessions, to those who actually don't sleep, they catch these volatilities. And that time the market is quite, it's quite slow. So once you see the volatility, you can actually trade comfortably than compared to European session and again a New York session. So there was a China CPI and the PPI, consumer price index, and producer price index also dropped on Thursday, which was yesterday. And if you were trading USD JPY, instrument like that, we saw a lot of high impact volatility. That's why we saw the index yesterday, like a USDT, dropping as well, because of the Japanese yen were gauging with actually, the dollar. So the instrument like CN50, JP225, Hong Kong 50, China H, they were very, very high impact volatility on Thursday, which is yesterday. Later on, around 3:30 p.m., before the New York session opened, there was an employment claim. Nasdaq was moving, USD was moving, S&P 500 was moving, dollar index, gold was moving. That is, if you were trading USD yesterday, trust me, you could have made a killing. To those who are actually following the group that I have I mean the channel that I have, you can now be able, to see those analysis that are thrown there. Today, the last day, it's Friday. So Friday already in the morning, we miss, to those who miss, uh, GDP from Great British Pounds. It was actually 9 a.m. Month to month GDP refers to the gross domestic product that comes on a month to month, right? So instrument like UK 100 GDP CAD, GBP Chief, Euro GBP, we saw it to have a higher impact volatility actually, yesterday. I mean, actually today in the morning. So later on today on a 5 p.m., there's USD perennium consumer sentiment. Again, that will be after New York session. We're expecting to see a higher impact of volatility in terms of the US zone and again the US index as well, like NAS 100, US 30, S&P 500. All those instruments, they're gonna have a higher impact volatility. So yeah, that's what has been happening in the market in terms of the global news, from Monday all the way to today. But look, man, the most interesting part, there was another gentleman, I met with him. He was saying that, my man, why you always more focus on European, markets? Why can't you jump in and to see what's going on here in locally? So definitely, I want to bring back, the African news report, the African news update on Friday. So yeah, we're gonna have to check it on what's going on in Africa right now, and to see what's going on about the market in Africa. So yes, man, without wasting time, let's jump on it. The biggest news coming from Southern Africa. We're gonna go right now all the way to Lilongwe. We're in Lilongwe and Blantyre. Coming from the Malawi Stock Exchange. They actually say Malawi Stock Exchange bearish in October. When we were jumping to all the way to November. So the Malawi Stock Exchange performed poorly in October, heavily registered and a month to month, a year on a year drop in the Malawi All Share Index. A mess happening there. In its recent market report, the firm says the stock market was bearishing over the period of the messy decrease by 3.76% to 113,000 points from 118,000 points in September. So we can see that things are not going well when it comes to Blantyre. When it comes to Lilongwe, the capital of Malawi, we saw from the stock exchange, that the currency it's actually depreciating, keeping on it depreciating over and over again. So let's go to Kampala, the capital of Ghana. We have to see, and we can see right now the Ghanaian CAD to a dollar sitting 12.74 GHS, to a €1 to $1 sitting 11.94 GHS. A Ghana Stock Exchange post a strong financial performance in October. So October, Ghanaians, they actually have, very high, strong, in terms of the financial report of their stock exchange. However, the GSE Composite Index CI record 1.4% dip compared to the previous month. So the GSE, which is Ghanaian Stock Exchange, CI, it is an index from Ghana. It is the major stock market index which tracks the performance of the companies trading in the Ghana Stock Exchange. A press statement on the summary of October, of the end of October market activity of the GSE compared to the Ghanaian Times in Accra on Monday said GSE Financial Stock Index continues to improve, climbing at 89.3 points percent. So we can see they on the Ghanaian Stock Exchange on Accra. I made a mistake. I said Kampala. No, it's on Accra. On Accra, we saw they actually, having reporting a very nice in terms of, growth of the Ghanaian currency, which is very good at the moment. So I'm seeing also the top gainers. I think the Zeko Holdings, one of the company from actually Zimbabwe, Zeko Holdings, it actually gained 0.0433.33% gains. Zambian Sugar Company from Zambia actually also gained by 25.25%. All the way again, AGX, Golden Textile and Clothing Wool, gained from the 14%, 14.99%. These are companies that you can be able, to search them and be able to start investing if you wanna participate to companies, that are listed in Africa Stock Exchange, right? So the biggest, what do you call? Let's see. IMF 2023 conversation with the head of the state accelerating an African economy. So yeah, day before yesterday, I think day before yesterday or last week, there was AGOA Summit. So AGOA, it's actually an organization that actually brings Americans, and Africans combining together and talk about the growth of African economy. And I actually see one of the CEO that I always see this CEO all the time is the CEO from Aspen. Just to actually shows you that Aspen is one of the huge company here in Africa, here in South Africa, that is actually thriving and in the forefront in terms of growth of, Africa economy. They're still talking about African free trade, whereby people they can move goods without tariff. But the biggest problem that we are seeing in Africa is the logistics. It's very difficult to move goods from one area to another. And again, the regulators paperwork in terms of to legitimate bafowethu, yeah, hiyo le, just to make sure that things are actually proper, and you have all papers, you're legit in terms of moving goods from one area to another. It become really difficult. So that's what AGOA on a table they were talking about. They were looking about things like that to actually help the Africa growth, so that it can grow and we can be able to do a lot of business. Think about, I have so many business ideas that we can do here in Africa, but I can't move, man. It's not easy to hire a truck, and actually to transport that goods from whatever Africa area and to come here. Even just here, around here, Botswana, Lesotho, but man, it will cost you some hell lot of money, and a hell lot of paperwork to do that. So yeah, that was on the forefront in terms of AGOA Africa. The summit was here in Johannesburg. So speaking on Johannesburg, let's go all the way to the biggest market in Africa. It is JSE, Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Let's just look at what is going on Johannesburg Stock Exchange. All shares drop down, minus 1.56%. Right? All shares is not going good. These are all shares property, and all shares again drop 0.79%. Johannesburg Stock Exchange, it closed the market on a really on a raid, because I'm seeing everything. Capped shareholders were top 40, it dropped again at 0.88%. The shareholders weighted and all shares dropped again at 0.84%. Go all the way to top 40 companies, 0.78% drops. All the way to tradable properties, 1.42% drop. It's been hectic. It's been very hectic, when it comes to Johannesburg Stock Exchange. So yeah, guys, we are going to keep on looking in terms of Africa market reports, how the market is moving in Africa, and trying to bring a little bit of bring back at home, you know what I mean. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. It is Che Yusuf. Catch me on social media, on Instagram. It's Che Yusuf. All the way, man. Enjoy. Mbite.